Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall. Unfortunately, you're never 10 feet tall in this game, otherwise it would probably be a bit easier. In any case, I am you're some kind of mushroom, and this is I Played a Thing, Phantasy Star. Last episode, I did get a few things wrong, and I put corrections in the comments on that video, but in case you missed it, I said the escaper was used to escape from dungeons, which it is not. It's used to escape from combat, with a 100% success rate. Also, I said that at the time this came out, Metal Gear was not even a glimmer in Kojima's eye. I should have said Metal Gear Solid, because the original MSX Metal Gear did in fact come out in the same year. Also, I said that the Pellery Mate, the item that was a parody of Calorie Mate, was the burger. No, it's the cola. And finally, something that I should clarify about Lassic was, he was the rightful king prior to the events of this game, but for some reason, he had been a relatively good king before, he suddenly turned way evil, and we do not know why at this point. But that, I think, is all the corrections we need to make. Let's get on back to the game. I think I'll select number 1. And there is our new buddy Maya with us. We rescued him from the rare animal trade. And we have to go rescue Odin now. He's a buddy of Maya. And our brother Nero did say at the beginning of the game that we should find Odin. He should help us in our quest. So that is our immediate goal. We also have a secondary goal, which is to get some shortcake as a gift for the governor so we can get in to see him. It would be a good thing to get on the good side of the local government, I'm sure. And this is what was around Maya's neck, Alsulin, which is the medicine to bring Odin back from petrification. Now, if you're a Phantasy Star 4 fan, you may remember the Ausschlein, which is a medicine used for restoring people of a town from petrification. Same stuff, different romanization. As I've mentioned, there are lots of Phantasy Star 1 references in Phantasy Star 4. Now, we are on Motavia, and Odin was on Palma, so we're gonna have to planet hop right on back. Yes, everything checks out with my fraudulent road pass. Quite a bit of planet hopping for so early in the game. We are getting on. You know, last episode I think I was a little unfair to Odin. Kinda made fun of him for putting his emergency Alsulin around Maya's neck when he doesn't have opposable thumbs and can't open the bottle. But come to think of it, what kind of container could he possibly give Maya that could be opened by a cat and would actually contain the Alsulin effectively? I can't really think of any. So fair enough, he was probably counting on Maya to go get help, and unfortunately he got captured by the animal trading guy. Anyway, last we heard there was a cave called Nala to the south of here where Medusa was supposed to live. And Odin was off to kill Medusa, but unfortunately he got himself petrified, which is the thing that tends to happen when you pick a fight with someone who can turn you to stone. Imagine that. And it occurs to me, most dungeons are dark, I think this one is no exception, so we should buy a flashlight. Shit. And I thought I was done grinding for money for a little while. Well, that's only 20 Meseta, that's very easy to come by. That gives me an excuse to show off combat with an actual secondary party member now. That does improve our survivability quite a bit, because we have someone to deal additional hits, and we have someone to take additional hits. And the game does sort of scale encounters a little bit. It doesn't make the enemies stronger as you get more party members, but it puts you into combat with more actual enemies. For example, when we were just Alice, the number of scorpions that we could ever encounter was capped at 2. Now that Maya's with us, you can see we have 3 scorpions. You put in all your commands at the beginning of a round, and then everyone goes at their given turn. And there you can see, despite Maya having no weapon, he can do a respectable little claw swipe. He is only level 1 right now, so he's not doing quite as well as Alice, but he'll catch up. Don't mind if I do. 39 Meseta. We've already got enough. It would probably be sensible of me to buy a few Cokes for the road as well, but I think I might skip out on that. Though there is a good bit of money grinding in this game, I don't remember there being much in the way of XP grinding. Hopefully I recall that correctly. Whoops, I just accidentally brought 2 flashes. Or bought 2 flashes, as the case may be. But I'm gonna need them eventually, so whatever. I should make a stop in Caminite to get my HP back. Why pay for a hospital when Suella will give us a rest for free? And there's the cave right there. I'm gonna make a save before I go in, just in case I'm not really ready for this at my current levels. I'm gonna make a little callback here to my own childhood. When I made my second save slot back playing through this game the first time, I was gonna drop a save here named Medusa, but I didn't realize at the time there were only 5 characters in the save slot name. So I did it like this. Went to put in Medusa, then I put in the A and it became Medwa. And every subsequent game, my first and second save slots have always been Alice and Medwa. So I'm gonna keep that going. It's pitch black, and that means we need to activate one of those flashes we bought. Easy peasy. On this dungeon, Wing Eyes. These are a fairly easy enemy, I think. About on par with the Scorpion, so I think we'll be alright. Yep, didn't even get a move off. As I was saying, on the subject of easy peasy, I do recall this dungeon as being pretty simple. Oh, there was not only Meseta in that treasure chest, we've also got a green slime. Not a whole lot of HP, so I'm thinking this won't be too much of a problem. Yep, only did 1 HP to Mayao, who is still first level. A little extra cash for us. Now, I lost my train of thought. Oh, as I was saying, with respect to easy peasy, I think this dungeon is pretty uncomplicated. I'm sure I'll manage to get lost anyway, but hopefully not too badly. And I had forgotten that you don't actually need to move to get into a fight. Just turning back and forth, as you saw there, can cause encounters to appear. We're holding our own pretty well here, but Mayao doesn't have a whole lot of HP, so we'll want to make this fairly quick. If at all 4 Wing Eyes. Hopefully most of them will focus their attacks on Alice. Mayao is definitely a little more brittle at this point. And yes, it is possible to evade attacks in this. In fact, in the late game, a lot of enemies get really good at evading your attacks, so that's kind of a frustration point in the late game. Oh, we are getting paid, that's a positive. Okay, this cave is not as simple as I remembered. Thought there were really only a few branches to go in, but I'm encountering quite a few branches. Oh, nothing here. At least it's a very pleasing blue color to be lost in. Aha! There's the man. Seems to be a man who has turned to stone. I wonder if he can be returned to his original form. Well, I think we have just the thing. Alice takes out Alsulin. The bottle cap opens and the contents quietly leak out. Alice, did you just pour it on the floor? No, he seems to be okay. Thanks for saving me. I guess if Medusa can stop me, I don't have much hope of killing Lassic, do I? Oh, so apparently he has completely simpatico with our mission. He's looking to take down Lassic as well. My brother died trying to kill Lassic. Before he died, he told me to seek your help. Is that so? Well, I must not let your brother die unavenged. Why did you try to kill Medusa? Because Medusa has a mystic axe. Unfortunately, she got away from me. Anyhow, I have stashed a compass in one of the passages of this cave. Let's go and get it. Nice fella. Odin's name in the Japanese version was, by the way, Tyron, or possibly Tyrone, depending on how you prefer to Romanize that. Well, I should also take a look at stats, because they're not quite what you'd expect. Yeah, so Alice is at 26 attack, 28 defense. Oh, I forgot my heal spell. That'll be good in case we run into trouble getting out of here. Mayao is 1822. And Odin is 2333. So his attack power is not actually that good at this point. And he gains defense quite slowly. I think that's meant to be compensated for by the fact that he can wear the best armors in the game. Anywho, he's also at level 1 right now, but does have a respectable amount of hit points, so at least he can be an HP tank. And you may recall there was a village called Epi that we couldn't get into because there is a confusing forest surrounding it that we could not get through without a compass. So that's going to be our next port of call. As soon as we get that compass, we can go check out what's in Epi. I don't know where the hell I'm going. Oh! 5 of them. Well, I'm now very happy I've got that heal spell, because if Maya takes too many more hits, he's definitely going to need a little bit of restoration. And I did not buy any cokes or burgers for the road. Which is starting to look like kind of a bad idea, but I just didn't want to do more money grinding. Well, the sheer number of hits we're taking from the number of slimes here does make things a little unsettling, but as long as we can get out of here before Maya gets killed, I can give him a little healing. And we're down to 2 slimes. Down to 1. Level up for Maya. Pretty good money from that mini slime. 20 HP, not bad at all. Not what I'm looking for. So somewhere now in the cave will be a compass, as implied by... No, I don't want to do that. When you run in a dungeon, you just go back 1 step. So if you have a wall at your back, there's nothing you can do to run. Just kind of have to hope you can fight it out. Oh, another level for Alice, and she learned a new spell. Cool. I'm betting that is the fire spell. I remember she gets that fairly early. Oh, it's buy, okay. Couldn't find it for a moment there. The buy spell is just like the escaper, the item. That means you can escape reliably from any battle as long as you don't have a wall at your back. Now, where the hell is that compass? By the way, it is not possible to find the compass before Odin tells you about it. That sets a flag that allows you to see the treasure chest that contains the compass. Now, if I could just remember where the damn thing is. Well, it's been long enough since I played this game that I'm not going to remember where it is, I just kind of have to blunder my way toward it. My god, what is with this dungeon? For the first real dungeon in the game outside of the Caminite warehouse, this is a great deal more complex than I was expecting. Well, it would not be an un-LP without a little bit of ridiculous confusion. Now this has got to be it. Excellent! Now that only leaves finding my way out, which may be easier said than done. Right about now, I wish the escaper item did take you out of a dungeon, otherwise I would have definitely brought one with me. And by the way, I do have maps for the hairier dungeons later in the game. I didn't think I'd need one for Medusa's Cave. Hubris. Well, I do beg your pardon for all the time spent rooting around in the dungeon here. Oh no. Don't want it. One of you, on the other hand, piece of pudding. Been doing well with no exploding or arrow trap chests, at least there's that. I do not like fighting that many slime. Quit giving them to me, game. Oh, besides being the way you access the Epi Forest, and thus the town of Epi, the compass does have another use. Tells you which way you're pointed. Only in dungeons, of course, that's useless in the overhead map. Had quite enough of that. This is more manageable. I wish there were a way that you could draw attacks to one character in this. Some sort of way of capturing aggro. That would make Odin a truly right and proper tank. But this game's kind of old and primitive for that kind of metagame. But I love it nonetheless. Ah, hallelujah. Just gotta tear through a few more wing eyes and we will be out in the open. I'll have a decent amount of money after this, by this game's standards. By the early game standards. As you saw with the diamond armor, there are some things that are absurdly expensive in this. We'll do another save on Medwa. These are barely worth bothering with anymore. But I suppose every little bit counts. That is a really squat and blocky looking sprite for Odin when he's facing up, or when he's facing down for that matter. And just like Alice, his sprite is not mirrored, which is a nice little touch in such an old game. Maya is mirrored, but then again, he's a cat. Doesn't carry a weapon. Only makes sense. Hey, Suello, you don't mind if this huge guy and this cat crash on your couch, right? How much money do I have? $259, not bad. I'm gonna grab a couple of Cokes just to be on the... Well, actually, no, we'll check out the Armory first. Still a little too pricey for my blood. Well, I don't remember what we actually need to do in Epi, but we've got the compass, we had better head that way. Oh, I think I remember what it is. You'll see in a moment. I think some of the forest monsters might still be some trouble for us, but we won't have to stay out there very long. Just long enough to get to Epi. Swarms are not completely trivial. Unfortunately, they also still give trivial XP and money. Hey, and a first level for Odin. Odin, by the way, will never learn any magic. Being the big lug of the game, no great surprise there. Now, where the blue hell is Epi? Ah, okay. South of the grass field here in this forest. It'd be also nice if there was a way to auto-win the really basic battles that pose no threat to you, but again, this is an old and somewhat primitive game, so they weren't doing things like that yet. As you can see, we can now walk through the forest without interruption, and visit the village of Epi. The smaller villages have a different tile set from the big metropolis-type ones like Paseo and Caminite. This here, I believe, is a shop. Let's see what they've got. Oh, he's looking butch. We could buy an iron axe, which Odin already has, a bronze shield. There's also a needle gun. The way guns in this work, they hit every enemy with 100% accuracy, so that can be nice in respect that the enemies can't dodge it. The needle gun is very, very weak, though. It does so little damage it can't even one-shot a swarm, so it's probably better to just leave it alone. Now, I have just the leather shield, right? I think so. So the bronze shield would be a step up. Might as well grab it. Bronze shield. Let's see what kind of stat gain this will do for us. Defense is 32. Bronze shield. No, we need to equip that, not use it. Oh, she can't. Guess that one's for Odin. Fair enough. Still useful. Damn it! There we go. I think he didn't have a shield before, if I recall correctly, so that'll improve his defense, definitely. Thank you, ma'am. The governor of Motavia might possibly help you well. Well, that's good to know. We were planning on visiting him anyway. Noah lives on Motavia. Who's this Noah we keep hearing about? Well, I think that might actually be the first we heard of him. Pardon? My train of thought doesn't seem terribly clear today. Dr. Luveno had a laboratory in the Gothic forest long ago, it is said. Well, if we have heard of Gothic, we don't have a way to get there right now. I'm sure we'll be hearing more about this doctor. Do you know what the hardest, strongest material in our world is? As a matter of fact, I do. It's Laconia. But let's say yes. Okay, good day. It's Laconia. Arms made with Laconia are the best to have. Stands to reason. And finally, this different colored roof building here. Probably a village leader. Are you looking for a dungeon key? Well, I wasn't really. But let's say I was. I've hidden a dungeon key in the warehouse in the outskirts of the Caminite. The Caminite. Not just Caminite. So that is what we needed to come to Epi for. We're gonna need that dungeon key, so now we just have to go back to Caminite and pick it up. One nice thing about the way the game scales the size of enemy encounters to your, not to your level, but to your party members, does get you a way to get a little more Meseta in experience, just so it becomes easier to outfit your new friends. You know what? Oh, I was about to say I have a shield that I no longer need, but that's not true. Odin didn't come with a shield. Anyway, this is the Caminite warehouse you remember from the beginning. One path had some Meseta, the other path was just a dead end. Well, now that we have heard about the dungeon key being here, we should be able to go to that dead end and pick it right up. Oh, my mistake, that is where the Meseta were. Even in a dungeon with one branch, I have navigation problems. There we go. We can now open any non-magically locked door. Well, all we really know about at this point is the governor of Motavia, so that's going to be our next target. Unfortunately, you may recall that he will not see us unless we bring him a gift, which is kinda shitty, but what can you do? And he loves sweets. We have also heard that there is a cake shop in a town called Nala. Did I just say... Lost track of my thoughts there. Did I just say a cake shop in a cave called Nala? Okay. And that Nala is roughly to the north of here, near Bay of Malay, which is a hill we're supposed to stay away from. So, that's all squared away. We now have a dungeon key, which I believe is needed to get into the Nala cave. And therefore, we have our marching orders. Oh, wing eyes out in the open. Oh, we can still beat them down without too much trouble. Wow, Alice is just racking up the magic. I'll bet this is going to be the fire spell. Oh no, it's chat. You may recall that we have a talk command in the battle menu. Some monsters can be conversed with. Some monsters are willing to talk, but they don't speak your language. With chat, you're able to communicate with them, and if you want, you can avoid some battles that way. That warrants a save, I think. Now that pyramid right there is Bay of Malay. I don't think we can get into it at this point. What we've got there is a magically locked door. Our dungeon key will not work. So yep, we're kinda stuck here. Well, not stuck, we're stuck for a way to advance. I'm thinking I would get my shit ruined if I went into there anyway, so just as well. Ugh. How am I looking after that? Not great. Let's make a quick stop in Scion. I can see if they have any good gear here as well. Maybe. The light suit would be nice for Alice. I believe the zirconian armor is just for Odin. But can't afford that at the moment. And I gotta spend some money at the shop. Or not the shop, the hospital. Do they have a hospital here? Typically towns do. Especially the larger, fancier towns. No, apparently they don't. No medical care in Scion, that's no good. Oh, I can buy a few cokes, that'll help for the whole staying alive thing. Do I have anything to sell? No, oh, the short sword, I can get rid of that. The shit sword is worth a whopping 15 meseta, but that's good for a single coke. And the armory? I was just here. Yeah, I am not thinking clearly today. I do beg your pardon for that, Internet. Well, we don't have access to a hospital. We don't have access to Coke and burgers. So we're just gonna launch right into this thing and see if we can survive it. Owlbear. That's a step up from the Wing Eye. It also looks absolutely nothing like any conception of an owlbear I've ever seen. The D&D monster, the Dragon's Crown monster, etc. They're pretty much half owl and half bear, and this is an eyeball. You're weird, Phantasy Star. Didn't even get a move off. Very nice. And just like most RPGs, there are indeed a number of palette-swapped monsters here. Now here's Nulla, and once again I did not prep a map for this, and that was very foolish of me. So I'm just gonna have to... No, we need the flashlight. Do it properly, me. Now there's our locked door that we need the dungeon key for. Ba-dung. This is a multi-floor dungeon, but I still don't think it's a terribly hairy one. Hopefully the encounters will be somewhat manageable. Some of the later dungeons have things like pit traps. 50 HP, that's worrisome. Let's take a crack at it anyway. Ooh! Maya's taking a pounding. And we are not hitting these things for shit. Yep, there's our first death. I think maybe I'm not quite ready for Nala. At the very least, I'm going to need some better gear. Yep, this is ruinous. You know what? I'm just gonna reset. That's why we make save games. Well, we can get into a fight or two on the way back, get a little Meseta. Can we take down 4 of these? Let's find out. And when I get on track to do it, I will do some more money grinding. These definitely do more damage than the very basic level enemies like the Wing Eyes and the Slimes and such. But it looks like we can handle them well enough. Anyway, as I was saying, when I get in a decent position to do so, I'll off-screen some money grinding and show you when level ups happen and when I'm actually able to buy things. Maya seems to be the fragile link in the chain right now, so I am thinking I will save up and buy him the thick fur on Paseo. Alright then folks, I'm gonna go gold more, and anytime something notable happens, I'll cut you back in. See you then. Oh, I got a little too close to the shoreline there. A very ill-timed random encounter came up with 5 fishmen, who, if I recall correctly, will just rip us apart. Nice background here, but I do not want to fight these. So let's hope I get away. Level up for Odin. Okay, I stopped by Paseo to price check the thick fur. That's gonna cost me a bit, but once I buy that, I'll be set for Maya's armor for the rest of the game, this being the only kind he can use. I think while I'm here, I'm going to try level grinding a little bit, or not level so much, but money grinding here in Motavia. The enemies here are a bit beefier than the ones in Palma. The question is, am I beefy enough to handle that? Now you will probably not be surprised to hear that the animated mouth in a hill thing there, or rather in a pit I think it is, are the antlions we heard about that we cannot cross on foot. So I'll be leaving those alone. Ah, gold scorpions. I'm betting these are fairly manageable. And they go down in 2 hits. They do a little more HP onto us than Your standard scorpion types, but they're worth a little more too. That arrow take much out of me? Not really. Well, back to Golding. When I see more enemies, I'll cut you in once again. Here's a level for Maya. Ah, an E-Farmer. This is one of the native people of Motavia. I do not know what the E stands for, but in any case, I believe this is someone we can chat. The Mad Doctor in Abion, has a Laconian pot. Huh. I wonder if that's the same one that we sold to the dealer. Well, we don't know anything about a town named Abion, and we don't know why we would want to talk to a Mad Doctor unless that's Luveno. But, yeah, that's something we'll have to know eventually. Now, Maya took a nasty hit from a spear trap, so I'm gonna pop into the hospital here. It'll be our first time using a hospital, so, figured I might as well show that. Now, this is an annoying thing about the hospitals. You have to treat people individually. It's not like an inn in most RPGs where you can sack out and recover your whole party. That's not really acceptable, but I don't really have a choice. Well, you helped. So, yeah, when all three of your people are fairly wounded, it can get to be kind of an expensive proposition. That's why, for future healing, I probably actually will fly back to Caminite and sack out on Suelo's couch for a while. It's inconvenient, but we're grinding money, so spending money is not what we want to do. Holy shitcakes, that's a lot of E-Farmers. Now, I vaguely recall that once you've chatted to people, or possibly chatted to people a certain number of times, then you can just talk to them normally. I don't recall if that's strictly true or if there's some other aspect there, so I'm going to save state before I attempt this. Ah, yes. We want to be friends with people from Palma. Well, isn't that sweet? And from future Phantasy Star games, you may recall that Motavians and Palmans do eventually get along just fine. Now, the N-Farmer, or Palette Swap, I think is a little weaker than the E-Farmer. Not entirely sure of that, but I know they are also chattable. Or not. They can get in some decent hits on us. I think I'll pass on this one. Levels for Alice and Odin. Can I take down the N-Farmers? Probably really not a decent thing to do to just be slaughtering the indigenous people here, but I need to get paid. I'm gonna save state again, because I don't know if it's really a good idea to be fighting N-Farmers at this point in my life. Nope, changed my save slot. That's what we wanted to do. Well, he's not hurting Odin much. We're really not hurting them a lot either, though. Better pass on this one. Or not. There we go. Level for Maya. Okay, I do believe I should have enough money for the thick fur now. Wrong shop. Here we are. Thick fur, 630, we can afford it. Okay, let's see what kind of stats difference this armor for Maya is that's the only thing he can wear. One would hope it would make a pretty substantial difference. So he's at 38 now. Thick fur, equipped to Maya. $68! Holy shit! Yep, he's set for armor now. I think it's safe to say. Now, what else did that armory have? Oh, you're welcome. Anything else I can afford here? Nothing that I want. And the diamond armor is well out of our price range. Okay, so I'm gonna head on back down to Palma, because I think there's a sword upgrade and an armor upgrade for Alice that would not go unappreciated. Maybe also a shield upgrade, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna go to that much trouble. And while we grind for money, we gain levels, which would make Nala all the more survivable. The trouble people go to get a cake in this world. Got a level for Odin there. Another level for Alice. No fire spell yet, though. I swear the next one's gotta be the fire spell. Ah! I was doing a little grinding around the Epi Forest, and we have encountered a Tarantula. Pretty big sack of hit points there, but if memory serves, it's not my... yeah. If memory serves, it's not what you might expect, but I think we can chat them. Nope. Well, that didn't actually do a whole lot of damage, so let's see if we can win this one. We're doing okay damage to it. Oh! Alice just got her shit wrecked, though. Okay, this is a bit dangerous to Alice. I think I'd better heal her this round. Let the other two continue the beatings. Maya now has by far the best defense of us, so he can tank that like a champ. Yeah, I definitely need some better armor for Alice. And I think I might just have enough now for the light suit. Skullins! Not even trying. Oh dear. Oh, even Maya can't take a hit from those without a whole lot of pain. Whew! Round the Epi Forest, not a good place to grind at this point in my career. Hopefully I can get back to Caminate without getting myself killed by something else. Thank you, Odin. Oh! That's a death I think I'm actually gonna keep so we can see, what happens when we resurrect someone. Oh, god damn it. Loving those dodges for Maya, though. Oh, for fuck's sake. I might just have a party wipe here, folks. Ugh, they can do 5 to her? Oh, last possible chance. Whew! Eep. Alright, off to the church. I really don't remember how expensive Resurrection is in this game, so I could be in for a nasty shock here. 100. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. Sabras, Cabras, Sebras, Bass. Well, that's gonna set my money grinding back a bit. Well, at least we got a level coming for Odin fairly soon. There's a level for Odin. I'm grinding a little of Medusa's Cave right now. Seem to be pretty good returns on that. There's a level for Alice. No new magic yet. Well, I believe I should have the funding to pick up the light suit for Alice, which will definitely help out with the defense situation. And she's at 48 now. Oh, that's right, I have to equip these things. I am very, very scatterbrained today. I don't know what it is. Up to 58. Not a bad bump at all. Now there's just one more thing that I want to pick up before I take another run at Nala, and that is the titanium sword for Alice back in Paralid. So, time to do a little more golding. There's another level for Odin. As we continue to collect funds, we're also leveling in the process, so that makes us even better prepared. Maya's got a level and learns his first magic. What's that gonna be? Cure. That's like Alice's heal spell, but even better. Don't recall offhand how much it restores, but it is an improvement on Alice's healing magic. Okay, titanium sword. Let's check our before and afters. Got an attack power of 36. Now an attack power of 45. Very respectable. Now, if memory serves, there's one more upgrade that I could reasonably get for Alice at this point. Not sure if I'm gonna do it. I'll have to see what the price tag is. And that would be her next shield upgrade. For, 520 for the iron shield. It would help, but I'm hoping that with the levels and the other equipment that I've got that I'll be about ready to go buy some cake. How much money do I have left? 75. Well, I can sell some of Alice's old gear. The leather armor and the iron sword. Won't get much for it, but every bit helps. And we're gonna save, and then we'll try the Nala Cave again. Hopefully, it'll be a little more manageable this time. At the very least, we shouldn't get our shit completely wrecked by the first encounter. And I'm gonna go ahead and make these little kills along the way, because we are gonna need HP ultimately. HP? Levels! Levels we're gonna need, and money. I don't know what is the matter with me today. Maybe just a lazy Sunday thing completely breaking down my brain. Why am I suddenly taking more damage from scorpions? I didn't think enemy strength scaled with you, just enemy party size, but seems like I'm getting hit by scorpions for more than I used to. Okay, because I'm a little nervous about this, I'm gonna save and eep, and then we will dive right in. We've got 2 potential healers now, hopefully that'll help a bit. Who went and locked the door again? Downstairs, and previously this is where our trouble began. Once again, I have foolishly failed to prepare a map for this cave. Evil Dead. Not a huge amount of HP. We'll see if we can manage them. We're not hitting them for much. Damage isn't completely unmanageable. Should have brought some food along, but we'll try and make do. That was a Peter Jackson movie, right? Or was it Romero? Peter Jackson, I think. In his pre-Middle-earth days. 28 XP, not bad. It blew the fuck up on me. Oh. Let's see. Alice's max HP is 81, so she took a beating. Mayao's is 54. And Odin's is 67. Let's try that cure magic, see how much that does. Oh, Maya has no HP. Or no MP, rather. If he had no HP, he'd be dead. Well, I think we're gonna have to call this an unsuccessful foray. These aren't completely slaughtering me the way they used to, so at least there's that. Now let's see if I can find my way out of here for an emergency escape. Yeah, that looks like that'll do it. Oh, damn it. We're gonna have another near wipe here. Note to self, next time bring along an escaper or 2. Oh, and there's also Alice's buy spell. I completely forgot that was a thing that existed. Bye. Straight into another encounter. Oh, Phantasy Star, you hate me today. I should have cast Buy again. Whoops. No, no, if you do run, then it automatically tries to run for your entire party's actions. We don't want that. Nearly did it again. I thought that was reliable. What in the... Oh, I think I have my back to a wall. Well, nothing to do but try and win the fight now. If that doesn't work out, at least we'll see our first wipe. Which is looking extremely likely. Alice goes down. Fortunately, if your main character dies, you don't game over immediately. Looking at you here, Persona 5. Or Persona anything. And that's all she wrote. You are all dead. Alice's hope cannot overcome the power of Lassic. The adventure is over. Well, rub it in, why don't you, game? Alright. I remembered Phantasy Star as being somewhat grindy, and it's more grindy than I remembered. Now back to Eep, and I'll grind up for that shield upgrade for Alice. And we'll probably get a level or two in the process, and hopefully that'll be enough. Hell no. A dead tree. I don't know what to make of the look of that thing at all. Not too bad in terms of HP though, so I'm betting we can take it. And it's trying to cry on me. Yeah, the rewards aren't too exciting. Guess this was an early game monster that I just didn't happen to run into. I am now able to semi-productively grind in the Epiforest area, and Weirbats seem to have a good amount of cash on them. That will help me out quite a bit. Odin's looking a little sickly. Let's see how much that cure spell restores. He's at 24 now. Took him up to 67, so that's pretty potent. Looks like it took off 6 MP though, so it's more expensive than Alice's heal spell, but being a higher level spell, that's only to be expected. That's a level for Alice, and for Odin, because that was quite a bit of XP. 252, nice. Think I may grind up money until I can afford every weapon and armor upgrade on Palma, and then we'll see about that cake again, because goddammit I am getting cake today. Maya got a level, no new magic yet. Gradually I'm creeping up to those 4-digit figures to buy the really good stuff. Well, because I won't be affording the diamond armor anytime soon, let's try the cubic zirconia. I believe this is something Alice can wear. But actually Odin still has his starting armor, right? Let's see if he can put it on. Indeed he can. Oh, I forgot to check the before and after there. We'll see how it compares to Alice's light suit, though. She's got 69 defense. Maya's up to 75, very impressive. And Odin is now at 65. Not as good as I would have expected. But as I did mention, he tends to gain defense very slowly because, presumably because he can equip some of the best late game armor. Alice and Maya get a level, as does Odin. Everyone's leveling. 252. Those Weirbats are paying off now that I can take them down reliably. Maneater. Palette swap of the dead tree. Ran into it right in front of Scion. Just like the dead tree, it's going to try and cry all over us. Not real good return on those. Now then, question of the moment now is, can Alice also benefit from the cubic zirconia? No way of really knowing, so I'm going to save state before I try. That is one other respect in which this game is pretty primitive. There's no way of checking in the shop who can equip what. So Alice is at 78 with the light suit. And with the armor... $93. Yeah, I think that was worth it. Okay, I now have every upgrade except for the best sword and shield for Alice. Well, you know what? I'm gonna grind those out too. Well, it looks like I can now endure the deadly tongue splats of the fishmen. Lots of XP for them. Do they pay like the werebats do? Not quite as well, but still, not too bad. There's another level for Mayao, and he's got another spell. Man, looking at the time, I think we might be approaching feature length on this. But you know what? I want my mother fist fucking cake, and I will not be stopped. But first, let's see what Mayao's got in terms of spells. That is the Terror spell, which is some kind of debuff to enemies to make them afraid. What that actually does, I'm not entirely sure. Oh well, we've got it. That's the important thing. Ah, I can afford the ceramic shield. Very good. Nope, nothing else. That, I think, will be the last defensive item for Alice for a while, certainly before we do the cake shop. So we'll do our standard before and after. Right now she's got 93 defense. Actually, maybe scratch that. Odin's got a lousy 67, so let's see if he can use that shield. Indeed he can. That's gonna bring him up to a much more respectable 82. You know what, I am taking no further chances with Nala, so I'm going to keep on grinding. I'm gonna get one for Alice too. Oh, Odin got a level off some dead trees. There's another level for Alice, and this has got to be the fire spell. I mean, come on already. There it is, and it's her second to last spell too. The fire spell does about what you'd expect. It shoots out 2 fireballs that do a flat amount of damage, not affected by defense or anything. Don't recall offhand how much that damage is, but we'll see eventually. There's another level for Mayao. And I think that'll be enough dough for me to afford another ceramic shield, so let's go get one. So, that is going to take Alice from 97 defense to 117. We're into the triple digits. And that, I believe, is everything except for the ceramic sword upgrade at Paralit. So, go gold more. Oh, there's another level for Odin. I think we're getting close to the point where we can afford the ceramic sword. Alright, I should now be able to afford a ceramic sword. Yep, got a little money left over too. Now, Odin's usually more of an axe guy, but he kinda needs the attack power right now, and he can sometimes equip swords, so let's see if this is an option for him. First we'll check his attack power right now, which is only 36. He does still have just his starting iron axe. So let's see if he can do the ceramic sword. Indeed he can. That gives him a somewhat more respectable attack power of 57. Oh yeah, he's actually passing up Alice right now. Unfortunately, his being able to equip the ceramic sword means I now have to grind out the money for another one for Alice. Well, such is life. Another level for Alice. And Mayo gets another level. Getting close. I sure do want to buy something. I want to buy a ceramic sword. Alice's attack power is currently 52. Oop, wrong command again. Keep doing that. $62. Not too terrible. I'm gonna go ahead and sell off her titanium sword. I'll take it. And what kind of money does that leave me with? Couple hundred. That means I can buy some burgers. Unfortunately, we have to buy them all individually. Whoops. Well, it'll help to have a Coke to watch all that down with. Did I say watch all that down with? I meant wash all that down with. In any case, one more burger. We will have a good size sack of fast food. We have all the equipment upgrades we could reasonably expect to afford at this point in our lives, because I am not grinding for the diamond armor at this point. So all there is really left to do is pay another visit to Suolo, get our HP healed back up. And then we make our way back to Nala for what will hopefully be the final assault. And I do have my map prepped this time, so I won't get lost for once in my life. Okay, we are now in front of the entrance to the Nala Cave. I'm saving my game because, hell yes, I'm saving my game. Now I'm going to pull up my map. Bear with me for a moment. Okay, I will be able to refer to that freely as the need arises. As usual, the first thing we will need to do is light up a flash. And now we use the Hacksaw Jim Duggan key. Gold lens. Well, that would be the third evolution of the Wing Eye and Owlbear family. They're not brimming with HP, so I bet we can take them. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Fairly decent little payoff, too. Now, let me take a moment to look at my map here. Okay, we are going to want to go to the left. Yeah, to the left, and kind of hook our way around. No, completely wrong. I can't even read a map properly, apparently. I've already slaughtered you guys en masse in order to get my grinding done. Weirbats actually ended up being my best friend for the grinding. The amount of effort it takes versus the amount of money you get for them is very favorable. Down we go again. Map check. Okay, we follow the path and then make the first available left. Got it. I believe I can take these guys. They're not too much worse than Weirbats. It's pretty impressive to be able to dodge getting your soul sucked out. Oh man, they're really broke though. Yep, with our top-of-the-line equipment, or at least top-of-the-line for this point in the game, we are handling ourselves pretty well here. Getting lots of dodges, too, which helps a lot. And I have yet to crack open our bag of burgers, or use any of Alice or Maya's healing spells. Okay, who got speared? I'm not entirely sure, but we're all in decent enough shape. Alright, I'm tired of you guys. It's time to try out that fire spell. It's a little nicer if you're fighting a single opponent, because then both fireballs are guaranteed to hit the same guy. Now, that was the first left I wanted to take, right? I do believe it is, and a single gold lens will be no threat to us whatsoever. Down we go further. Let's check the map again. Okay. Maybe we want to take the first turn to the... Yeah, first turn to the left. Oh, I can't even see what I'm doing at this point. First turn to the right. I think we go to the right again. I hope. Oh, hallelujah. I'm sorry I have a shop in such a place. Yeah, you should be. Shortcake for 1,000 mesetas. How much do I have? I don't actually know. Well, clearly it was enough. Cake! At long last. Now all we have to do is get out of here. Hopefully I can do that without getting too terribly lost. By the way, the weirdness of having a cake shop in a dungeon is referenced in both Phantasy Star 4 and Phantasy Star Online, actually. In Phantasy Star 4, there's some town where you can buy cake from someone working in a basement, and he says, like, subterranean conditions in the basement are just perfect for making the perfect cake. Got Odin a level there as well. And in Phantasy Star Online, I believe there was a mission that sent you into one of the dungeons to recover a cake. And if I recall correctly, the cake in that dungeon was being sold by some ladies known as the Nala Cave Sisters, so a reference directly to the Cave of Nala as well. I really hope I'm going the right way. Yes, it looks like I am. Now we've got a four-way, which means I had best check the map. Okay. Looks like I want to hang a left, and there'll be the stairs up. Not at all the case. A whole 10 meseta. Okay, let's reference that on the map. 10 mesetas there, so... Okay, I just want to follow the path straight. Enough of you, Weirbat. But you drop decent money, so come to think of it, I don't mind too much. And although we are done messing around with funds for the moment, we are eventually going to need more money. I really don't remember the rest of the game being this grindy, but then again I didn't remember the Nala roadblock being this grindy either. Okay, so now where are we? We are on the second level basement, so that means I just came from... Okay. Gonna loop around and then make the second right. Not the first right, but the second right. And yes, if you've picked up on the fact that I don't navigate very well even when following an actual map, well, you're absolutely right. Okay, now all I have to do is make a right. Use the Duggan key. Plow through a couple more Weirbats. And at long last we are home free. And it is more than past time to call it an episode. Sorry this one ran so long, folks. I kinda got a bug up my ass about getting the cake before I finished. Next time on I Played a Thing, Phantasy Star, we go visit the governor and shove the cake in his big stupid face. I'll look forward to it, and I hope you're looking forward to it too. Take care, and I'll see you then. Today's More Grinding Than a Starbucks in a Strip Club has been brought to you by Justin Carpenter, Nolden, Zangamarth, Anonymous Benefactor, John Madigan, Sanguine Games, Misha Van Doren, Frank Grizzy, Tim J., Lolo De Puzzlo, Joshua C. Ritchie, Jared C. Rice, Sonic Rose, EX Potemkin, Alicia Goranson, Mechasaurus, DG Jono, Doug Russell, August Fortnight, Patrick Bellinger, Rob Lyons, Andy Kurland, Jarogue, Martin Schoenmakers, Mayo the Hedgefox, Hildegard Argelmach, IGV, Jazel, and the rest of the very generous patron gang. Thank you all very much for your support, and thank you to everyone commenting, subscribing, and just watching. It has been a pleasure as always, and I hope you have an excellent week.